$2.4 trillion wasted annually on HR technology debacles. So here, I'm going to make this really simple because can you tell me in an easy fashion what a trillion actually is? Yeah, it's a lot. That's all I think. My husband goes, okay, so take a second. You got 1 second. A million is 1 second. A billion is 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks. And a trillion is over 30 years, Heidi.
Buckle up for a new episode of the S.H.E podcast, the show where we have real and raw conversations to inspire and empower you to be seen and heard so you can create balance and everything you want in your life and business. I'm your host, Heidi Schock, and I'm excited to walk alongside of you on this journey of being seen, heard, and empowered. Welcome to the S.H.E podcast. Be seen, be heard, be empowered. I'm your host, Heidi Schock, and I have a big treat for you today because we're just going to have some fun. I know my guest. I've talked with her before. We rock and rolled and had a fantastic time on my other podcast, the Business Growth Spotlight. So I'm so excited to be having her here, bringing her amazingness to all y'all women. So without further ado, I want to introduce you all to Tammy Castro. So welcome, Tammy, to the S.H.E podcast.
Thanks, Heidi. It is awesome to be here. Good to see you again, of course.
It's great to see you. It hasn't been that long. I think maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. And before we dive in, Tammy, I'm going to give everybody just a little background of you, and then we'll get started. So discover the power of purpose-driven HR technology with Tammy. She's a seasoned expert with over 3 decades of experience in the field. Tammy offers a fresh perspective on how corporate America can harness the true potential of HR software to create positive change in their workforce. With the HR tech landscape booming and more than 20,000 software options available, that's a ton, it's easy for companies to get lost in the dazzle of new features. So Tammy cuts through the noise, providing a delightful and inspiring guide to help organizations focus on what truly matters, which is their people. Delve into extraordinary world where faith intersects with the realms of technology and human resources. So Tammy, getting into the tech space that you're in, did you always have interest in tech, or was this something that you learned in your own journey, and now through your knowledge and your own personal journey and growth in the space, you now help corporations navigate it?
Yes, great question. Hey, let's face it, when you're getting your first job and you're in your 20s, you're learning all kinds of stuff. And man, when you said 3 decades though, Heidi, I'm like, oh man, do I look that old? Anyways, so yeah, I mean, back in the day, for those who might be maybe around my age, you might have heard of something called Lotus Notes or Word Perfect. These things were up and coming when I was just a 22-year-old temp, actually. And so my journey from that point forward was really about basically anything that was coming my way. I was getting my degree in a minor in HR, business administration, bachelor's degree, and technology just wasn't happening, right? We got our first computer when I was at home when we were in high school. We added a new family member, didn't know that's what it would be. Remember the dial-up sound? I don't know, Heidi, if you had that, but
I did. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so technology has been a part of my journey just because of the generation I grew up in and watching all these things happen. When I got into HR, honestly, it was accidental. This was not, my minor in HR wasn't, but the fact that technology is the path that God had for me was certainly not what I thought it would be. But it turned into that because I was working with systems. I liked it. I liked analyzing things. I liked pushing the limits of the system. And then once I did that, I said, this is pretty cool. And it was accidental. Once I got into it, I just never got out of it.
Yeah. And I love that you love it. Like it's not only something that you learn, and I was in high school when the computers started coming out, but it was very, very new. Not everybody had it. And my dad actually sent me to a coding class. And I have to say, that was the worst thing I'd ever been through because it was dial up. So you were learning these codes and my brain does not compute. No pun intended there. My brain does not compute that kind of stuff. So that was torture, and I'll never forget that. But we've come a long way since then. Now we're in the age of AI. It's not going away. It's only getting bigger. So I love what you're doing, and I love how passionate you are about it. And you you enjoy it and you found something that you grew up learning, but also now you enjoy it. So can you tell me, being a woman entrepreneur and being in the tech space, I'm sure there's been maybe some challenges that you faced along the way, or maybe some fear that you might have even had. I don't know. You come off very confident. You have a new book we're going to talk about too. But people tell me all the time I show up very extroverted. I'm an introvert and I'm not. I show up very confident. It took me a lot of practice to get here. The fear of
Mhm.
being seen, hence the name of the show. Can you share with us any fears that you, or challenges? Let's start with challenges that you faced along the way, and then we can move into any fears that you may have had that you had to overcome, and maybe still overcoming.
Well, I think for me, I've actually been thinking about this lately, Heidi, because I was like, did I ever feel like I was different than the people around me as far as that I was a woman and I was surrounded by men? So I might reverse your questions a little bit how I answer. So I hope that's all right. But
Yeah.
basically, I started out in engineering. So I was in a man's field.
Yeah.
I was a young I was bright, I got great grades and things like that. And I had a lot of uncles and I had brothers. So I knew how to deal with men. And my first job was I was an intern at a nuclear power plant in Ohio.
Wow.
Was surrounded by men, right? So
Yeah.
I was in the engineering field and they were just how do I want to say it? They were goof offs. They really were. I was working more with the not the management folks, the other guys, but in that journey, I just thought, and you get these guys whistling to you while you're coming into work and things like that, which now if that I don't even know if they allow them to do that think it was
Probably not.
exactly an
Probably
HR
not. Yeah.
acceptable. So anyway, the point I'm saying is I don't know that I feared anything. Call it ignorance. Maybe I just was like, hey, I'm here and what I have to offer matters. I don't know where that came from. God created me with some boldness there, I guess.
Awesome.
So there wasn't fear in that. I just adapted as I went through my journey. Now, in the last 5 years, I will probably say I've had more of an awakening to, oh, hmm, that seems like a boys' club,
Yeah.
and how this particular conversation is going, or maybe how I'm being treated. And I never noticed it before, honestly, Heidi. I didn't. So the challenges that I faced along the way, truthfully, I feel super blessed because in my independent career, meaning when I was not leading a company and other people, I feel like I had it so easy. I just went and did what I did. I did it with passion. I loved the people I was serving and going in and helping them fix their HR systems. And then going from that to I still love it and all this, but now the challenge is, well, how do we run this business? That's probably the question of the century, right? How are we running the business this day and age? And so my challenge is in the last 10 years since I launched I am HCM Consulting is around being able to pivot, being able to be sharp and on top of things, be well connected, and right now our biggest challenge is getting our voice in front of the right audience.
Yeah.
So we're working on that and we never give up. I guess that's just what you are as an entrepreneur. You never give
Yeah.
up. You just keep plugging along.
Absolutely. That's one thing that we have to have as entrepreneurs and as women in general, no matter what you want to have in your life, whether it's a different relationship or a healthier relationship or
Right.
more financial freedom or stability, whatever that looks like, or a business, you have to have perseverance. You have to keep working toward it. For example, I have my business, love my business. That's going well, right? My kids are getting older. My daughter just started driving. So I'm getting some time back. The fear is there with her, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I also have the faith that she's got everything, all the tools she needs to protect her, and God's protecting her. And now my next chapter is finding my person. And there's times where I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired. Like I'm good. Like maybe I just need to be alone. Like it. And I'm like, no, I get to persevere, and you get to, because if you want whatever you want in your life, if you have a vision, you have a goal, there's going to be bumps in the road. Not everything is
Yes.
going to be, it's not going to be sprawled out in front of you where it's just handed to you. So we have to work for everything. So I love that you said that. So for you all ladies listening, not all of you are entrepreneurs, and that's okay. But whatever you want to create in your life, that is a key takeaway, a big gold nugget. If we can say big gold nugget, it's kind of like an oxymoron there. But you need to be able to persevere to keep going after what you after, because every time you take a step forward, you're getting one step closer. Know if that next step is that step, right?
Telling you, you're preaching.
Yeah,
Okay. There is a message. I heard not it was years ago actually from my pastor, and it's for anybody who may know stories in the Bible. This one is about Jericho and how Joshua took his troops and they were trying to defeat Jericho and the walls needed to come down. Well, it was a fortified city with walls. And so what did they do? God told Joshua to tell them to go around every day. He just said, "Okay, march around, march around." This went on 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changing. And you got to imagine these soldiers are probably like, what is Joshua wanting us to do? Nothing is happening. This is stupid. But they kept obeying, they kept doing it. Well, guess what? I love this message because it says, don't stop on six. I'm actually getting goosebumps telling you because on the seventh time around, these guys went around this wall and they blew the horns and the walls came a tumbling down. And it's because they waited, they obeyed, and they persevered. And it's such a great message for me because it reminds me, and I hope it reminds anyone within the distance of my voice, we should never give up because just like you said, Heidi, it could be that very next turn, the next step, the next circle around the wall. And I'm telling myself that a lot in business because it can get crazy, right? You're a businesswoman. But even in life, when you're persevering for anything, as a mother trying to care for a child, waiting for something with a child or with an elderly parent, I mean, all these things tie together. And if we have the perseverance to know, and for me personally, having faith is a big deal because then it takes a lot of pressure off me. It's not all on me. It's like, well, God, this is yours. And I trust him with it. So I'll leave you with that story because when you said that, I thought, oh my gosh, I got to tell you about this story that is very powerful in the Bible. And it really does cause us to say, okay, I can keep going. I can keep going. If you feel like you want to give up, my advice would be stop, breathe, maybe pray, take some time to meditate, care for yourself,
Yeah,
and then start your next day. Because we can have bad days, right, Heidi? You can feel
absolutely.
like, oh my gosh, I just want to quit. Can I play? When as soon as I get that way, I'm like, all right, I got to go take some time for me.
That yes, and that's a great advice too. It's like when sometimes when you feel like you're hitting a wall or you just don't have any more left in the tank,
Yeah.
take a break. And like that happened to me literally last night. I was like, I just get to sit and like watch some. I don't watch a lot of TV. My like literally my show is Hallmark. Like I'll watch Hallmark because I love the love story. That's my next chapter is my love story. So I'm watching my
Right.
love stories. So I was like, I'm done. It was 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm done working. I'm done. I'm done for the day. I've got nothing left. I just want to sit on the couch and like consume some like nothing, just enjoy. And
Right.
do that, whether it's take a walk outside, whether it's meditate, and like you said, pray. And not if you're not religious listening to this, that's okay. Sometimes we're all like, as women, we got this. I got this on my own. I don't need support. I don't need help. I've got to prove that I'm tough. And I used to be, I was that person. I still navigating that shift. But it comes a little easier for me now to ask for help. But it was something that was challenging. And you mentioned the word pivoting, which I think is important. When you said pivot, I also thought about decisions, making decisions. And I think that's a key piece too. I'm a recovering procrastinator, perfectionist, all the things. So
Mm,
making a decision quick is important too, because the sooner you make a decision, the sooner you're going to know if it's the right decision or not. Every
exactly.
decision is going to get you to the next decision. It's going to get you to the next choice. I think that's a key thing that you had said too that I just really loved and I wanted to share that. So
Thank
thank you
you.
for all of that. Can we talk about your book a little bit? Because I know it's newly out and I'm excited for you. So can you share what it is?
Yeah,
What's it about?
here
Why
it
you wanted to
is.
write it? What was the inspiration? Shiny
So
objects. I'm a bling bling girl. So I
I
love the shiny
know. Isn't that cool? That's why I like it. I mean, that title was so perfect because when I was sharing it with a friend, I said, as I was writing it, I said, yeah, I haven't got the title yet. Everybody's so distracted. And I started sharing my vision for it. And I said, I just see clients out there that are in a tech wreck.
Oh yes, tech rat.
And
That's good.
employees are miserable. People on the project hate it. Everybody's miserable, hates it. So I said, well, why is this happening? And I started looking, and it came down to just what happens to us when we're shopping, right, Heidi? We're like, oh, that's so pretty. Let's try that one on. Oh, that's got some bling. Let's do that. And that's what's happening. These executives, these leaders, even some maybe at the lower level business, they're saying, oh, this system doesn't work. I'm going to go out and start seeing demos, which will confuse you if you're not planning it well, because you're all of a sudden going to be possibly pulling a shiny object that you don't really need in your organization.
Mhm.
So the shiny object came from the fact that we're just everything's so dazzling out there. Which one should I pick? And before we know it, we've picked out too many and they aren't even serving our purpose. And the adoption rate, the employees aren't happy. So the book is really about how do we put the human back in the spotlight, right? We are God's original shiny object, right? And if we could take that mindset into the workplace, it'll change everything. So, although the book is about technology, it's layered with my faith walk and how God showed me to lead people. And hey, just a disclaimer here, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm still very much a work in progress here. So just because I wrote a book doesn't mean I have it all. It is allowing me to open the door to have conversations with people about their faith because I do share my faith in there. And it's almost an unexpected business book because you're thinking, okay, I'm going to read this book about technology and HR, but you're going to learn about strong leadership and you're going to hear it through the lens of my faith. So I'm hoping it'll be a big inspiration to people. And hopefully we can change some of these statistics that are out there of all these 2.4 million or trillion, $2.4 trillion wasted annually on HR technology debacles. Can we put our arms around that? My husband, whom you met, is really
Yes.
smart.
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to make this really simple. Because can you tell me in an easy fashion what a trillion actually is?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's all I think. My husband goes, okay, so take a second. You got 1 second.
Yeah.
So if a million is 1 second, um, a billion is 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, and a trillion is over 30 years, Heidi.
Wow.
I mean, when he told me that, I'm like, so even going from a billion to a trillion, there's that 30-year difference. So in terms of how big the number is,
Yeah.
and so the fact that there's that much waste out there, just
And you said 26?
it was $2.4 trillion.
24.
Yeah,
Wow.
wasted annually. And so anyway, my passion is in somehow, some fashion, to start a revolution where we can change that and bring those numbers down and gain greater adoption and quit wasting. Why are we wasting so much? I'd like to have a small fraction of that trillion in my bank.
Exactly. We all get to have that.
Can
Yes.
I please?
So we're on the mission for you with you because yeah, we can all tap into that. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And
I hear
actually, it
you.
would affect all of us.
It would, yeah. It completely would affect all of us. So you mentioned your husband, Santi. So I did want to talk about this too, bring him into the mix. So for you listening, make sure you listen to us on the Business Growth Spotlight too, because he joins us on that episode, on that interview with Tammy, which it was fantastic. And they're married and they do business together. So, and which is I find fascinating because it works for you and it doesn't work for everybody. And
Right.
not everybody feels like they can manage that. So my question is for you, how do you balance your time together and work time and making sure that you're creating that healthy balance where you can work productively and very well together and respect each other and then still have that building on your relationship and your marriage on the other side of that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Heidi, we've been married 20 years, so that helps, right? Because we've been through a lot. I think when we first got married, I was doing independent consulting and he came alongside and was kind of my support in that. And then when we launched the company 10 years ago, who's a bigger part of that. But what was funny is earlier in our marriage, it was uh, and I wasn't even that young, but I was just like, "Hey, come on along, we're gonna have some fun." And there was no intentionality behind things. Well, through life and through some stumbles and some healing and just growing together closer, we, learned that, oh, yeah, we kind of need to be intentional about some things, right? So the intentionality, I like to say, well, my girlfriend tells me all the time, if you want to have a romantic marriage, you need to do romantic things. So it needs to be intentional. It isn't going to just fabricate itself. So we right now are in a really, really good place. I'm so blessed by it. And it's not because for anything other than our intentionality. And he had to get on board. I had to get on board. It definitely takes two. So as you are trying to find your person, Heidi, my encouragement to you is because I went through this too many times I to count. Don't lose yourself, right? You are a strong woman, and I'm a strong woman. And so I didn't get married till I was in my mid to late 30s. And my husband, and the reason I think a lot of people would tell me, you're so intense because I'm getting things done, I'm
Yeah.
running my business. And I think it scared a lot of guys away. Okay. So men that don't already feel like and they're founded in themselves in a good way, they can be intimidated by our strength. So we as a wife now, I've had to learn to be softer with my husband because I can be we're going to get this done. And I've learned it's okay. Actually, he likes it when I'm softer
Yeah.
because it shows that I feel safe with him. And so we've come a long way. He's been very intentional. And if you listen to the other podcast, what was the first thing he said? I will tell you because you may not remember, but it had to do with a get a massage table.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. That has not left my brain since
Oh,
I
I
talked to you
know.
guys about that. And for you listening, like he does, like she'll come home or they'll talk on the phone or wherever. He'll ask about the day, and this is I'm going by memory, but he'll know that she needs something, and he's like they bought a massage table. Like, I think he bought it, and
Yes.
she'll come home and it's all set up, and because he knows he's like, you know what, she needs just some care
Yeah.
right now, and he'll
Yes.
just give you a massage, and I'm just like, that's beautiful. That's just so
So
beautiful.
let me tell you something kind of cool. It's hot off the presses, Heidi. I think Santi was so inspired by our talk with you. He is now, with the help of incredible AI tools, creating, it's going to be called, we think, Mastering Your Marriage Muscle. And he's doing it for men because he wants to bring the men together and show them how.
Send one my way when they go through it.
Right? Okay, we'll be looking. Um, Point being, these are the things when you've been through things and he has, and we've been through things and he sees other people suffering in their marriages and it just all clicks now for him. So he's able to maybe encourage men. And as you know, from our meeting him, he's kind of a man's man, right?
Yeah.
So men are going to be drawn to that. And it's our prayer that it'll really make an impact with where he's able to take it and how he's able to help marriages get stronger.
I'm so excited. It's my prayer too, because and if I was part of that inspiration, I am so excited about that because I think I did tell you on that last podcast, like, or after we wrapped, like
Yeah.
both, either him or you or both of you, like together, like it was just going to be magic to support other people in the marriage and even people looking for that partner and
Yeah.
helping them see what partners are looking for because men and women think differently. But I don't want to get on the relationship topic too
Yeah.
much, but we'll have to do this another interview. So we talked about your book. We talked about how you all balance between your marriage and such. Let's talk about you personally as a woman. I know that your husband supports you in many, many ways, but how do you make sure that you're creating balance in your life? I know I went through burnout when launching my business the first time around. I can see the signs now when I'm heading toward that again. Did you ever experience anything like that? What do you do to make sure that you're prioritizing yourself in certain ways? So you're not always, because you are a type A from what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
that we could
Yeah.
just go and sometimes have to be reminded that we need to take a break and pause and take a step back a little bit and enjoy life in the process. So how do you make sure that you're balancing that or prioritizing that for you?
Well, it's built into my schedule, period. I've
Okay.
got some really recent examples because guess what? When you're in business, business is always changing, always challenging you, always causing you to question, am I on the right path? What's happening? And anyway, I got really stressed out, and this happens in life. If you're a parent and you're stressed out with what you're doing with your children, thinking, am I doing enough? It can be me in a business. And what I do is I literally will recognize it. Like you said, you start recognizing these things in yourself. And I said, okay, I'm feeling that churning and it kind of rises from my belly up, right? I feel it in my spirit, in my heart. And I said, okay, I am not taking care of myself. So I will pull away. I've got some exercises I actually do. I've got a coloring book that's just beautiful because it's got scriptures and I can color things in. I've got a time of meditation and prayer that I always do every week. I've got my morning devotion that every day starts that way. And at the end, we always pray together, my husband and I, thanking God and sharing gratitude from our hearts because I think that's a big part of connecting with our God is being grateful and just being a happier person is being
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
There are built-in things. It's on my calendar. If you look at my calendar, you'll see when it says pray. You see the cutout times I used to have before we got really uh, involved with more things going on with our business. I had what we called the Wellness Wednesday. So Wednesday was my day to cut out where I could go, whatever, do my nails, go to the park, just something for me.
Mhm.
And I've had to cut that out recently, and that's maybe why I got a little stressed this last week. But I took care of it, and you have to take care of yourself because, ladies, we are the caretaker. We're the ones that nourish and help people. And And we need to do that with ourselves. And I've been preaching this to my sister. I love her to pieces, but she is just a doer for everybody. And then when she needs something for herself, she's out. She's out of gas,
It
or
takes
she's had
time.
a strained neck or something. So you got to listen to your body, listen to your heart too, and don't ever ignore your gut.
Yeah. Sis, if you're listening, prioritize yourself. Put it on
Thanks,
the
honey.
calendar like your sister does. I think that's great. And I think that's really important because I know for me, I live by my calendar. And if I don't schedule it, I always say, like, the lately, it's been like, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to walk. Or I even just downloaded this app where I can do somatic yoga and things. And it's been
Hmm.
on there for at least 5 days. Have I done it? No.
Mm,
I know. So Tammy, I get to
apps are so nice, and but you got to use them.
right? You got to use them. And this is not the first rodeo that I've done this where I paid for an app for a month or two and then I don't use it because I'm like just working all the time. So that's not healthy. So yeah, I love that you shared all that. So thank you for that. I wanted to ask you something else too, but I kind of, oh, yes. I am HCM consulting. You run your team and you bring your faith into your business, which I think is fantastic. Not all businesses do that. Some separate them. You don't. That's a big part of your core values is your faith. You do a team meeting. I know from that you bring everybody together. And I love what you call it. I can't remember what you call it off the top of my head, but I do remember it. It was something really catchy and cute and fun.
The
So
I am
yeah,
fam call.
yeah, yes, the I am fam call. I love that. Can you tell everybody what that is? Because if whether I think this is important because whether you are an entrepreneur or not, there's a form of this that you can incorporate into your life.
Mm.
Once Tammy shares it with you, we can go a little deeper into how you can incorporate it if you're not an entrepreneur, because I think it's an important thing, an amazing thing that you do with your team every week that I think everybody should be doing, whether they're an entrepreneur or not, and navigate to bring support and team into your life.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I agree, Heidi. It's been, I don't know, just somehow, some way in my first year, I realized, first year of running the business, I realized I need to find a way to for all of us to get together because you feel very sparse, and we're virtual. We are not a brick and mortar type of organization. So
Right.
I had that challenge in different time zones and whatnot. So what I did is I said, all right, I like American football, and I say American in case this goes international, but NFL. And so I like the 4 quarters. And I said, okay, we're going to have a weekly meeting and it's the same time every week. And we say, all right, first is Q1, first quarter, we're going to do a devotional. And second quarter, we're going to share. Q2 is we're sharing something educational with each other. And everybody signs up. We all have a smart sheet that we follow. Q3 is company updates and what's in the pipeline. And then Q4 is maybe prayer requests and some time of just chatting together as a family. And then once a month, at the very end of the month, that last meeting, which actually is this week for us, is just all hands on deck. You just visit. It's not even formatted. We might open and close in prayer, and that has been incredible. I think the thing about it too, Heidi, is it's intentional. We are timely. We don't go over and start late and do all that stuff. We honor our time and we're intentional with how each quarter, who's doing what. And it just you're going to gain more respect and support from your team or from whoever you're trying to connect with if you are consistent and always doing this. So that's been a real blessing and a huge asset to our organization, honestly, bringing us together.
Yeah. I think then I love this. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since we met a week and a half, 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago around it. I am fam call. I love it. I wanted to talk about that today because I think whether you're an entrepreneur or not, I think if you're an entrepreneur, she just laid out how she does it. You don't have to do 4 quarters. You can lay it out and do it how you want. If you like,
Yeah.
you have a hobby or something you love, you can make it around that. I know when I was part of a company, somebody else would do a different, like we would do a game or something at the beginning and we say something about each person, or have a song for each person, like regarding their personality. So it was always different, but it just made it fun. It was
Yeah.
like you said, it was structured time that everybody honored, and it was time for you to come together. And if you're not an entrepreneur, the reason I wanted to share this with you as well is because I think there's so many of us that are scattered around the world since COVID, and we can use Zoom, we can use virtual means to still tie into our family and stay connected, or with your friends. So if you feel like you kind of are lone wolfing things at the moment, like create your own version of the I am fam call, and you can call it whatever you want. But what maybe it's like getting a few friends together every week, every other week, whatever, once a month, whatever it looks like on a specific day, every every month, every week at the same time. So you know this is your time to get support and to just kind of like fill your bucket up, fill your cup with some love and some positivity.
That is awesome, Heidi. I'm taking notes because I've got some girlfriends in California, love them to bits. We've been friends for 40 years. And honestly, I'm like, gosh, we just don't talk enough. We pick up where we left off as soon as we do. But now I'm
Right.
going to say, ladies, let's get something on the calendar.
Exactly,
I just
exactly.
committed there
And it
every
doesn't
month.
have to be every week. People get busy, people have,
Right.
lives and stuff. So just navigate
Thinking
that however,
monthly.
yeah, however it works best for you. But I think it's such a great thing. And I hope that, you listening take action on it, whatever that structure, whatever it looks like for you. And if you do, make sure you let Tammy and I know. We'd love to celebrate.
Yes, for sure.
Can you let people know how to connect with you? And we can find the book on Amazon. I know we're going to have all the links in the show notes, but can you let people know where they can say hi to you?
For sure. TammyCastro.com is my website. I also have our business website is I am, like the great I am, HCM consulting.com. And I'm on LinkedIn. You can go to tammyonlinkedin.com. And of course, if there's anyone else in my team you want to reach out to, it's their first name at imhcmconsulting.com. Jennifer, Deanna, Tammy.
Santi.
Yeah, I don't leave my husband off the list. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah,
That's
so
good.
I would love, yeah, and the book is on Amazon. So we would love to share more of our story and hear about yours too. So if there's any way we can serve you or help you or have an introductory call, we love doing that because it's really about relationships, Heidi. Our passion is relationships,
Yeah.
not about sales. Yes, we need to sell to have business, but we call it relationship growth. That's the department we have because let's face it, relationships take time. So it's really the long game, but it's
Yeah.
so much more meaningful and your life is just better because of it.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I couldn't say it better. And for you ladies out there with your men, something good is coming up the pike with Tammy and Santi. So Santi's working on that. So make sure you connect with her to learn more. If you want your man to be buying you a massage table or something else, like
Yeah, that's right. Hey, he's putting together a whole course. He
this is
helps
the
them.
course to be in.
Yeah,
You got to send them. Maybe it's holidays are coming 6 months from now when we're airing this. It might be a good nice gift. Just saying. Um, so if you're listening, if you're watching Tammy and I on YouTube, thank you. We appreciate you. Would love for you to share this episode out with any ladies that you know could benefit from Tammy, from her message, from what her book. Also, there's a subscribe button there. We'd love if you just hit that button, click it, and subscribe to the channel. That allows us to alert you when amazing women come on here like Tammy is today, sharing her tips and tricks in her business, what she's been up to, and what she's creating in the world. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform like Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or any others, and it gives you the option to leave a review, please do. Preferably 5 stars, though. We'd love the 5 stars. And that helps the platform push our episode and our podcast out to more late women. The goal of this podcast, my mission behind it, it's truly passion driven. It is
Mm,
to inspire and empower women to be seen and heard in all areas of their life, not just entrepreneurship, but also in relationships, in their own personal journey and growth, whatever they want to create in the world. And these women that we bring on are very powerful. They're making things happen. They've moved through challenges and fears, and they're coming on to share it with you. So if we can share this message out to more women, that lights my heart up. Tammy, 2 more quick questions before we go.
okay.
First one, is there like a fun fact behind the scenes of Tammy Castro that we wouldn't know from going to tammycastro.com, reading your book, seeing you on social?
Yes, I did think of this.
Okay.
I am deaf in my left ear,
Oh,
which doesn't stop me. You just have to adjust which side you walk on. But I also, when I was in my early 30s, I got to travel internationally to multiple countries and do concerts. So
that
I
is fun.
recorded a CD, gosh, a lifetime ago, it seems like, of stories that told my faith story. And then I got to travel all over the world and sing it and do concerts. So not many people know that.
You sing.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, you
I
sound
mean, I haven't lately. I haven't like I don't do concerts now, but when
right.
I was younger, right? So, and I've got a CD. It's as I said, CD. We know this is old, right? But it's
Well,
yeah.
it's not a cassette, so you're doing okay there.
Okay, all right. Well, there is a version of that, but we won't talk about that.
Or the cassettes. Oh my God. I still have some cassettes, like from we used to make the mixtapes. I
Yes.
some in my garage. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Tammy. Last question for you is if you could have lunch with anyone, whether they're deceased or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, shoot. I had thought of this one, Heidi, and because of course I love Jesus, so I would want to say him, but I was like, no, I want to do something different. And it was, oh, I think I know who it was. I think it was Warren Buffett
Ah, okay.
because he's just so brilliant,
He is
right? And
brilliant.
the man is however rich he is, but and it's not because of the money. I want to understand his drive and his story, and I would just be fascinated to have a conversation with him. So that's my
Yeah.
choice.
No, no, I agree with you. He's so cool and he's brilliant. And I think he lives in the same house he bought when he was like young with his wife. I think they,
Oh, really?
yeah, from what I mean, they may have, this is years ago. I heard he's never moved. They haven't moved out of it, but I could be wrong. We'll have to look that fact up. Don't
Yeah, we'll have to fact check that one.
fact check that one. But I did hear it years ago. I was very intrigued. So anyways, Tammy, thank you so much for sharing and thank you for being here today. It's always fun. Definitely have to have you back. You're like one of my sisters from another mother. I
I
love you.
know. I love
So
you, girl.
I love
You're
you
doing
too. So thank
things.
you for your time. Tell Santi I said hello. And ladies, definitely connect with Tammy. She's amazingness, and you want to be connected with her and have her in your life. So make sure you reach out to her and then go to imhcmconsulting.com. Again, all the links are in the show notes. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Be She podcast. In the meantime, be empowered to be seen and heard.